My social media timeline this week has been full of the news that the commissioning of dialysis services is to be passed down to local clinical commissioning groups as of April the 1st next year. And I just wanted to talk about that decision. In the run-up to the last general election and subsequently on moving into power, David Cameron and his coalition government made 3 pledges that are related to the health service. The first one, most famously, is his statement that there would be no more top-down reorganisations of the NHS. Well, £3 billion later, we know that now even senior Tory MPs are saying it's the worst decision this government has made. Now, I'm not too sure whether they think it's the worst decision because of the damaging effect it's had on the NHS, or whether or not it's just going to be politically toxic for the next general election. However, £3 billion is an awful lot of cancer drugs, it's an awful lot of GPs and nurses, it's a hell of a lot of dialysis machines. The second pledge the coalition government made was that the NHS would no longer be used as a political football. The proposal from the Department of Health was that NHS England would be responsible for health service provision in this country, and there would be no longer any further political overtones to any decision made regarding the NHS. Now, the cynic in me says that was never going to happen. And having watched health questions from the House of Commons yesterday and seeing Jeremy Hunt and his team of ministers repeatedly demonstrate that this Department of Health is influencing, is probably too weak a word, perhaps determining NHS England policy. Can move on to sort of talking about the decision regarding dialysis commissioning. Yesterday at Health Questions, there were a number of questions which focused on things like cancer diagnosis and treatment, cancer development fund, mental health services, GP services, accident emergency services. When it came to a question about the proposed change to dialysis commissioning, the question was battered away by Jeremy Hunt with no real answer. Again, I'm not surprised. Yesterday was a fantastic demonstration of how the NHS is still a political football. Which brings me to the third pledge from this coalition government, and that was David Cameron's assertion that his government would be the most open and transparent administration in British history. So I'd like to pose a couple of questions. Where was the transparency in the decision in August to reduce the dialysis tariffs? Let's not forget the decision was announced during the summer recess of Parliament, so the decision could not be debated. Also at a time when many of us were away on holiday and the news probably would have escaped us. Luckily, with the help of social media, petitions were raised, objections were raised by British Kidney Patient Association and National Kidney Foundation, and that decision was overturned for a year. Where's the transparency in the decision to transfer dialysis commissioning to local CCGs? The decision has been made. It's due for implementation on April the 1st next year. And all of the questions we're all asking about this change must have been asked and answered as they were planning for this fundamental change. So why haven't we got that information? It certainly doesn't strike me as being transparent, and it's almost a kick in the teeth for anything that resembles patient involvement in these decisions. So what can we do as dialysis patients? Well, I think all we can do is to continue to lobby, to sign online petitions, support British Kidney Patient Association and National Kidney Foundation as they endeavour to get these fundamental questions answered about the change in commissioning. I think we need to be wary that we don't generate more heat than light in the coming months. It's very easy to excuse me, to scare people who are vulnerable, who need reassurance, don't particularly enjoy change. They need that reassurance, those questions answered. Raising issues such as charging for a dialysis service brings little light to the situation. We need to determine exactly what is going to happen. Who knows? The transfer of commissioning to local CCGs may well be the best thing that's ever happened to dialysis services in this country. No, I don't believe that for a minute.